Come from behind tennis secrets. In other words, turning a losing match into a win. That's in other words. So what do? What if you're losing a match? How do you pull out of that? Think about it for a second. All right, let me cut to the chase. First, let's start with this. I'm Coach RJ, and it's our mission to expedite your specific tennis goal no matter what it is. So, you should know by now how Tennis Treasures does its magic. And I can explain it to you. For every little situation, there is a plan. Yes, and around that plan, we come up with a success formula. So, let's give you an example. If you want to build a hospital, which is an extreme example, you need a plan. You don't have an option. You must have a big plan. All the details involved. Same thing if you want to build a tiny house. You need a plan. So let's talk about that. What's your plan if you're losing a match? We want to help you through this. We want to give you some ideas, some suggestions. In fact, let's start with this. Let's start with a quiz. This is the second time I've given this quiz, but it's really important in this particular YouTube video, so I want to do it right now again as well. If you have an opponent who is extremely fast, and you're starting to make unforced errors trying to move them around, but they're just too quick, they run down everything, what do? Well, first you create an angle. That's part A. Then, when they run that down off court, you pretend like you're going to the open court, but then you hit back to where they were. You hit behind them. They slam on the brakes, slide on the asphalt, and hopefully try to get the ball back in a respectable way. Well, that doesn't always work, of course. So this will not only make them hesitant about running at full speed, but also they don't want to take a chance of injury, or pulling a muscle, damaging joints, tendons, or ligaments. So what we're getting at here is this same plan also tires out your opponent more quickly as well. Yeah, can you imagine having some coach who doesn't realize that and he adds this to his repertoire of classes to hit behind his poor students? That doesn't work so well. And does it? I mean, that's a problem waiting to happen. All of a sudden, one of the students turns over an ankle. Now he's got to take that student back to the parent on crutches. And the parent's looking at the kid, and the kid says, and he looks at the coach and tells the coach, hey. And then the coach gets close to the parent. She grabs him by the collar and says, what did you do to my baby? You're fired. I mean, that's not unpractical. That could actually happen. So because the parents trust the coach, to protect their child, don't they? I know they do. So, just for the record, chapter 10 in The Rock talks about this too. I mean, that's part of the plan. How to come back from a losing match, right? This is called The Rock. That's The Rock. Why is it The Rock? Because it's bedrock. You build your tennis career on top of rock, not sand. Anyway, it's got 12 chapters, 11 URL videos, 100 pages. It goes on and on and on. There's a 24 question and answer quiz in the back. None of the questions we're giving you, but these are really high potential questions that make sure you understand what we're teaching you. So, as a recap, this is number 1. Practice hitting behind your opponent is a great plan to support your coming back from behind campaign, let's call it. All right? Master a specific skill is number 2. To sway the crowd onto your side. You want everybody on your side if you can, if you're losing. In fact, a lot of times, the crowd will be cheering for the underdog. So this is what we're going to do. We want to make sure you build up your confidence by throwing off your opponent's rhythm. How do we do that? You all of a sudden, well, not all of a sudden because you practice this, work on your drop shot and execute it right there on the court during the tournament. So your drop shot's working, you hit it, crowd goes wild. They love that kind of stuff. They're being entertained like they want to be, and it's from the underdog. That's great. So they're impressed, they're happy, they're a very forgiving audience. Then another example, you worked on your topspin lob. So you pull them into court, and then you hit your topspin lob. Crowd goes wild. It's like, wow, this person has been holding back. You've been holding back too long. Same effect with the crowd. They go wild. So now, Don't forget, you have practiced these shots in advance. This isn't something new to you. Number 3, go to the rock. Our rock is what you want to build your foundation from. And why? Because there's 2 videos in here that we want you to watch. One is how to win if you're injured, believe it or not. That alone takes some thought to realize that can happen on the pro level. All right. Next one is how to come from behind, which is pretty nice and nice. It's a long video, but it shows how a player, I think it's Del Potro, comes from behind to win the match. And you get to see the turning points involved. Now we have a tennis philosophy, and it's this. If you're losing, why keep doing the same thing and expecting different results? This is our number 4 on this list. At least try this. Try to use this symbol to your inner circle and your team. What does that symbol mean? It means that, that person's going to go for it. Yeah, with all guns a-blazing, you're losing. You got to do something. You got to change something fast. So that's what you do. You say, okay, I'm ready to go for this. This shows your team that you intend to hopefully, turn the whole match around. Because it's time. You waited to the last minute, hopefully not too much to the last minute. So I'm saying that to say that this player has decided by doing this, to go ahead and play high-risk tennis. And high-risk tennis is impressive. In fact, I had to do it when I was playing in a very important tournament years and years and years ago. But I ran into the number 1 seed in the finals, and he was playing in his zone, attacking, and my game style wasn't compatible. I played a sensitive defensive game, just keep it in play, let them make errors. Well, he wasn't making any errors. So he won the first set 6-4, and he was about to win the second set. And then I decided to show my team this symbol. They gave me the nod. They knew exactly what I was going to do, and it worked. I was hitting out down the line, passing shots, lobs. I was not playing that tentative safe game anymore. I had to go ahead and play more high-risk tennis. That means hitting through yellows, hitting through not green, not reds, but all of the greens, not double greens, but the single greens, double yellows, you're hitting through those, you're attacking. I can go over the colors another time with you. So there's another story too that you need to be aware of, and that is the Arthur Ashe story. And that is, we have a chapter in our training manual, chapter 4, called Chess Tennis. Let's see if I can find it real quick. And that chapter focuses on how to win against somebody you never win against. How to make sure that you don't lose to this person you keep losing to. I think that's very critical. Yeah, chapter 4, Chess Tennis. It changes everything. Arthur Ashe lost to Jimmy Connors 6 times in a row, period. The only 6 times they ever played. Never won a set. But when it came to 1975's Wimbledon finals, Arthur and his team came up with this concept, this chess tennis idea. They didn't call it that, but that's what I'm calling it. And it worked against Jimmy Connors. Jimmy was just bubbling over with confidence. He just knew he was going to win this match, but he didn't, because simply chess tennis. I'm going to give this class away free. You get chess tennis for no charge. It takes about 45 minutes to go over it. What you do is go to tennistreasures.org and then respond to us. Give us a date and time that you're available. We need about 45 minutes. Hour at the most, because you may want to ask questions, and we want to answer all your questions. Also, you want to leave a comment down here at the bottom. Please do. I can answer questions that way also, or comments that you have about the class, see what we can do to improve. And also click the like button and subscribe so you can get more questions and answers and get more training on this level. We're going to have a quiz every single YouTube. We're going to try to have a quiz for you and see where you're at with your tennis intellect. We want to make sure you're smart as you think you are. So Welcome to Tennis Treasures, the tennis millionaire where your tennis dream becomes your tennis reality. I'm Coach RJ, and I'll see you on the next video.